find yourself losing a sale because you're not able to handle the objection? And how much help do you feel you need in order for you to improve your skills in overcoming objections? Now, there's at least 8 common objections that every salesperson have to overcome in order for us to get to that sale that we're always eyeing for at the end of every transaction. So for today's training, I want to talk about my personal take on 8 objections, and because it could be lengthy, I've decided to split the 8 objections into 2 videos for you. Just because I wanted to give you guys a quality and not rushed training session today, because this is a topic that would help you elevate your skills in overcoming objections. So what is an objection? Objection is, it sounds very intimidating, because it is intimidating. It's supposed to intimidate the salesperson who actually calls the shot or the shots for objections. Naturally, it's the client. And are objections there for a reason? My answer to that, absolutely. Let me share with you my personal experience with objections. I don't think I could ever close a sale, or I don't think I've ever closed a sale in my entire career doing sales. I don't think I've ever closed a sale without a single objection. And the reason for that is objections are not necessarily for the client not to purchase or not to give you the sale. The worst objection that no salesperson can overcome is when the client hang up the phone. Or if it's a face-to-face selling, the client stood up and walked away from you. Now, objections can also be taken in a positive way, because we as salespeople need to remember that our client's way of voicing out or expressing what else they want to get from us is by giving us objections. And we're all buyers. I remember my first manager, he's very, very funny. He said to me, "Majoy, buyers are liars." And then it sank into my mind, and I'm like, oh, actually, in a way, there's some truth to that. So I find that very, very funny, but true in many ways. So let's get on to the top 4 for this video, and then the other 4 on the second video. So number 1 objection on the list will be the price objection. Why is it number 1? Because this is obviously, if the price is not something your client can afford, or it's something it's his way of bargaining. If you can give a little bit of reduction, or if there's any discount you can apply, this is when clients give us what we call the price objection. Now, price objection, how do they express that? They express that, for example, by saying, this is out of my budget, or I cannot afford this. Now, the solution to this objection is also very common sense. You have to identify, or you should have identified at the very beginning of the call, what type of client are you speaking to? Number 1, you need to make sure you qualified your client before the objection comes your way. Objection is not given at the very, very beginning of the call. That's not the sequence of a normal sales presentation. Maybe there will be an isolated case when the client immediately would say to you, I cannot afford this membership, or this is out of my budget, before you even explain anything to him or to her. But on a normal sales presentation, when the salesperson was already able to give how much he or she need to pay for, either for subscription, either for the membership fee or how much is that deal. This is the part where your client would give you this objection. Now, if you have identified what or qualified your client, you can more or less identify as well if this is something he or she can afford. So let's take one example, right? So if I am selling a hotel membership card, and let's say the membership fee is $300 for 1 year membership. If I have done my, if I've done the right thing of doing qualifying questions at the beginning of the presentation, where I would ask questions like, so how often do you usually dine out? Where do you usually bring your wife for romantic dinner? How much do you normally spend for 2 people dining? Oh, you have kids when you dine out. How much do you normally spend on your average dining visit? You got those information. You have those numbers to play around with when the price objection is thrown at you. So how do I overcome that particular scenario? Very simple. Mrs. Smith or Mr. Lim, I do understand that you are a bit particular with the membership fee. I would feel the same way too. And I just want to make sure you're getting the best out of this invitation. So at the beginning of our presentation earlier, you managed to share to me that you normally dine out 3 times a month and your average spending is $150 per dining visit. So that's about $450 a month dining visit. The annual fee for this membership card is only for $300. Now, because this is a 1 year membership, Mr. Smith or Mrs. Lim, that means if you're dining out every month for $450, multiply that by 12 months, it's already a win-win situation for you. In fact, the membership fee can already cover a few dining visits for you where you can enjoy your 50% discount if 2 people are dining or 33% discount off your total food bill if 3 people are dining. So let's give it a go. This membership card clearly is a need for you more than just a membership card. So there you go. That's an example of overcoming a price objection. My take on price objection is if you are also selling, or if your product's membership fee or price is fairly reasonable, you can easily apply that example I've given you just now. However, if you're selling insurance plan or if you're selling real estate, you have to do bigger numbers as well. And the formula is, again, it's the same. You need to make sure that you've done your homework, you've really studied who are you selling this to, and more or less you have to find as many numbers or number equivalent of value from your product. Because there's 2 values in anything that we sell, right? There's the word value and there's the number value. For this particular objection, guys, it's clearly about numbers. You need to be able to do a bit of math, do a bit of calculation, do a bit of evaluation in terms of savings versus investment. So that's why price objection should not be the toughest. Although it's on the number 1 list, it shouldn't be the toughest because it's very straightforward. It's nothing to do with emotion. It's nothing to do with anything else but the number. Show me the money kind of thing. Like, how much is it and how much are my savings? And we are buyers ourselves, right? And if we identify the value of what we're going to buy versus what we're spending on, once we see that, okay, I spend this much and then this is what I gain in return, as long as it's a logical decision for us, we would go for it. And just remember that the fact that the client stayed on the line with you there is the interest there. People don't stay on the phone, or people don't sit down with you for meeting or for presentation if it's face to face. They will not stay with you if there is no hint of interest. All you need to look for as a salesperson is the hint of interest. Once you identify the need and you spark a bit on that interest part, of course, objection comes, then you just need to really master the skill of overcoming every objection. Now, another thing about price objection, guys, is you have to break it down in terms of if there's any installment payments offered, if there's any payment plan that your product offer. And of course, I'm talking about if you are selling a product that involves, a slightly higher subscription fee, or if you're selling health insurance or any product where we're talking, couple of $1,000s, right? So you need to also overcome the price objection by breaking it down for the client. For instance, Mr. Smith, the price that we're offering to you for your convenience would not be would not require you to settle it in a one-time payment transaction. Matter of fact, you have an option to pay this every quarter or every fortnight, etc., etc. So when you overcome an objection, guys, especially price objection, offer options, solutions, alternatives. Because when you do that, your client would feel that, okay, it's not that bad. You want your client's mindset to be in a place where he would say, okay, it's not that bad after all. And finally, before I close this first objection, never argue. Never argue with the objection, not with the client, okay? Never argue with the objection. So what do I mean by that? If the client tells you, oh, I find it too expensive or it's out of my budget, arguing in a sense where, for example, you'll say, no la, or no la, it's not expensive if you're in Singapore. Or you would say something like, right, no, it's just you who say that. All of my clients can really afford it. Or anyway, any other way where you're going to argue with the objection. Or you would say something in the tone of, oh, it's not expensive. It's not expensive. It's actually very affordable. That's not the right way to overcome price objection, because what you're doing there is not only that you're not overcoming the objection, you're not overcoming the objection effectively, but at the same time, you're ruining the mood. Every sales presentation, guys, there has to be a mood the entire time from hello to goodbye. So that's why I want to give you quality video for every single objection, just to spend another few minutes talking about this rather than jumping on another one and another one, because these objections are very critical. This is almost you getting on the finish line. This is you almost closing the deal. So you need to make sure that you really master. Don't just know it, you need to master how to do it. And I just want to say this, I've said this many times to my sales team, it's not what you know, it's what you do. That's sales. You can tell me you've been telemarketing or you've been in sales for 20 years and you know a lot. You have to know a lot. But on the actuality, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, based on what you say is what you know, then you're not really getting the best out of what you should be based on your experience. So I'm closing this first video by giving you a few tips on overcoming price objection. Initially, I thought I'm going to do 4 in one video, but I figured I'm just going to give my all on every video, on every objection. I'm sorry. I'm just going to give everything in my mind, in my heart, in my experience to you on how you should overcome price objection. Again, objections are a sign of give me more, tell me more. These are the reasons why they give you objection. And until they hang up the phone and until they walk away from you, that's when you lose the sale. But they're still on the phone, they're still talking to you. So master the way to overcome that. And ethically, not aggressively, but also very smartly and effectively. I'll see you on the next objection training. Part 2 is coming up soon. Thanks, guys.